Yo, what's going on, everybody? Used in the thumbnail, you've read the title, and today I want to talk about sniping versus red gunning in Call of Duty. The two completely different skills where, honestly, both sides complain about each other a lot, and I kind of want to talk about how they are just two completely different things, almost like you're playing two completely different games. So with that being said, I guess this is kind of a discussion video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and with that being said, let's get into the video, guys. Alright, so this stems from me seeing on Twitter a lot of snipers, and I actually don't even know who some of these guys are, but complaining about quote-unquote red gunners. And if you don't know what a red gunner is, it is somebody who uses a weapon that is other than a sniper. And a lot of times snipers will call people red gunners and be like, oh, look at this trash red gunner, when they are two completely different skills. It's almost like the term red gunner in some snipers' eyes is used to like diminish the other player's skill and their skill with the weapon because they don't have the skill of sniping, or they're not choosing to snipe, when the two are completely different skills, and I'll obviously elaborate on that. Starting with the snipers, the skill of sniping in Call of Duty is essentially point and shooting, getting your centering on and stuff like that, pointing at your target, aiming at your target, and firing one bullet and being pinpoint with that one bullet accuracy. That is the skill of sniping. Now, when you go over to using a regular gun, like an assault rifle or an SMG, the skill is landing multiple bullets, controlling that recoil and stuff like that. You have to land multiple bullets over a duration of time, also equating for many other things. But going back to sniping, you don't really have to do that. It's a completely different skill. It's a skill of being pinpoint. And I've always seen the argument, it takes years to learn to snipe. And, oh, it only takes a couple of, minutes to learn how to use a regular weapon, when that's quite simply not true. Now, minutes is obviously being very hyperbolic here, and obviously a lot of people aren't saying, oh, it only takes a couple minutes to learn how to use regular weapons, but a lot of people think that it does not take that much time or as much skill, when I would beg to differ, because I could not hand a controller to somebody who has never played a game that involves aiming before and say, here, land every single bullet in this match. It's not going to happen. Even somebody like me who has been playing for a very long time, I don't land every single bullet in a match. But if I nonetheless hand them a controller, I hand them a keyboard and mouse, they've never aimed before, they are not going to pick up how to aim very quickly. It doesn't matter whether they're using a sniper, whether they're using an SMG, an assault rifle, anything like that. They are not going to learn it very quickly. They're going to have to learn to stay persistent and accurate. Whereas sniping, you don't have to be persistent and accurate, you have to be persistent with that first bullet. And if you can land that first bullet accuracy and you have that first bullet accuracy, that's great, you're rewarded for it, but you don't have persistence that somebody with a regular weapon does. And I've said before, sniping requires pointing and shooting and first bullet accuracy. There's obviously more to it. You do need to know the spawns, which everybody needs to know. Everybody should know the spawns of, oh, my enemies are over here, red dots over here, skulls are over here, kill feeds here, enemies are going to be over there. Now, obviously that's a very terrible example, but nonetheless, if you've played Call of Duty for long enough, you know what I'm saying. You have to use all the information in your arsenal to know where the enemies are going to be. This is something that no matter whether you're a sniper or a red gunner, SMG, AR player, you all have to know. Now obviously there is different depth to this, like for example, say someone uses an SMG. Someone using an SMG has to know the map knowledge in and out. They need to know where they can and cannot push through. They need to know what angles assault rifles can beam them from, because they cannot compete with an assault rifle up at range. And they have to have this varying degree of map knowledge. Now I know someone's going to say, and I know someone's going to say this, that quote-unquote submachine guns shouldn't be able to beam across the map. You're saying that people using submachine guns beaming me across the map takes skill? And to that I would reply with, well, if you're getting beamed across the map with an SMG, it's safe to say you're the problem. And if you are able to beam people across the map with an SMG, it's safe to also say the enemies you are playing against are terrible, because they fail to realize, hey, I could just switch to an assault rifle or an LMG, hold out an angle, and the submachine gun player, as long as they don't get close to me, they can't win the gunfight. An SMG does not beat an assault rifle at range. ARs will always beat submachine guns outside of the submachine gun's effective range. It has been like that for a very long time. Now, obviously, submachine gun players know this. They know that they cannot beat an assault rifle player at range, so they, play to the close quarters of the stuff with the map. Now, it's not to say snipers don't need to know map knowledge. They definitely do. They need to know sometimes very, very close quarter engagements they can't work around with, especially because a shotgun will beat them, but they can no scope and stuff like that. But for the most part, and in most Call of Duty games, you don't really need to know the map knowledge as well as a sniper, because in some Call of Duty games, they just blatantly beat SMGs up close as long as they hit their first bullet. And that does take skill, landing that one bullet does take skill, but also you have to recognize that people using submachine guns and assault rifles also have a different skill set than you. Not only do they, have persistency with landing multiple bullets in a row, but they also have to have a deeper understanding of the map. And that's not to say that sniping doesn't take skill, but these two things are you can hardly compare sniping to assault rifles and sniping to red guns without acknowledging that they are two completely different things. Snipers have that first bullet accuracy, assault rifle and SMG players have consistent accuracy and lots of map knowledge and knowing their guns, controlling recoil, strafing, equating for jump shots, and everything like that. Now, snipers obviously do have to equate for jump shots too, but the point is that it's not just point and shoot. It is not as easy as people make it seem. Whenever you, as a sniper, complain that, oh, it's a red gunner that takes no skill, know that they also had to learn how to use their regular weapon. They spent arguably the same amount of time, if not more. They probably spent a little less, but they spent the same amount of time as you did. They spent at least a couple of months to get persistent at it and proficient at it. They had to spend time to learn, just like you did. Just because you learned something different doesn't mean their thing is worse than you. And this goes for the same with red gunners who complain about snipers. Just because they killed you in one bullet, they had to spend time to learn how to do that. Both sides have to spend time to learn how to do stuff. There are some transferable skills in each of them, but at the end of the day, they both take a good amount of skill. I don't know why people try to be like, sniping takes no skill, red gunning takes no skill. They're two completely different things. You can't really compare them. Let me know what you guys think down below. This video went on long enough. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, drop a like, sub the channel, turn on post notifications, and I will see you guys all later. Peace.